Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back with a brand new tutorial. I'm Charles Ellison, your instructor this evening. We're going to be getting into a little bit of a review of a previous tutorial, and then we're going to move on to a few others. I think we have time for, actually I think we're going to be going through about 3 different tutorials in this video. At least I'm going to attempt to do that within a 30-minute period. But I want to start off by bringing your attention to civil3d.tv. This is the place where you can get all the free tutorial streams that we've been working on together. And if you ever miss any streams, join the mailing list. The mailing list right here, all you have to do is just put in your name, or you can put in your dog's name. You could put in your sister's name. Who knows? We can protect your anonymity right here, but what's important is your email address. If your email address isn't right, then the tutorial streams won't be sent over to you. So that's the valuable part. If you want to be kept up to date every month, at the beginning of every month, we send out all of the different links to all the different tutorial streams that I've done in the past, within the past month. This is how you keep up to date. If you would like to have formalized online training, meaning that you don't want to get into with these tutorial streams, a lot of what I'm doing is I'm just working through my content. There's going to be a lot of errors. I'm going to make a lot of mistakes, and you're going to see all those mistakes within these live streams. However, with this all access Civil 3D subscription, you can start a free 3-day trial. And this link right here takes you to setting up your free 3-day trial. Feel free to peruse all of the different categories and lessons. This one right here, modeling a surface, has about 21 videos. Click on that. It has a decent amount of information. We've got about 21 different videos for this particular subject, as well as the exercise files that come in the zip form. So that 3-day trial can be very helpful to you if you just really want to get your feet wet within Civil 3D, or you can just continue to follow the free content on YouTube. Sign up for that mailing list, and we can rock and roll. So these are your options, folks. Let's go ahead and get into some of the tutorials. Now, where we left off, we've been getting into points. We've been getting into point styles. We're getting into X references, and we're going to be getting into point groups. We've touched on point groups a little bit here and there, but in this tutorial we're going to be getting into changing the point group display order. I touched on that on the previous live stream, but before I actually get into the meat of changing the point group display order, I want to do just a slight review, even just for myself, just to go through some of the previous stuff. The last exercise we got into changing the style of a point group. We can go through that really quick, and then we can move on to changing the point group display order. After that, I want to get into removing an externally referenced drawing. That'll go by quick. And then after that, we'll touch a little bit into editing points. So that's on the agenda tonight, and hopefully I can accomplish that in about a half hour. We'll see. Might get into 45 minutes, so bear with me. Bear with me. Okay. Changing the style of a point group. Okay, we're going to zoom in to this area right here. And I'm going to focus on my manhole points. I'm going to change the properties. And I'm going to change the point style to storm sewer. Apply, then OK. So now the point style shows the storm manhole, at least the block anyways. Let me check some notes here. Bear with me, folks. Okay, for all points, I'm going to change the properties of that. Point label style, I don't want to see any labels. I'm going to switch that to none. Click apply. So now we just have the X's. Okay, we've already done the manholes. Okay. So that's the extent of changing the style of a point group. So now, let's get into changing point group display order. Okay, I'm going to start reading some notes here. Bear with me, folks. In this exercise, you'll use the point group display order to change the appearance of points. We'll go ahead and change the point group display order. Note that this exercise uses the points-2 drawing and the existing base map drawing with the modifications you made in the previous exercise. We'll start by going into the tool space and into the prospector tab. We've already expanded, if you haven't already, expand the point groups collection. But notice the order of all of these groups. The storm sewer manholes is first, then the detention pond, then all points. The point group display order determines how points that belong to more than one point group are displayed in a drawing. When a drawing is opened or regenerated, Civil 3D searches down, meaning it starts at storm manholes, then it goes to detention pond, then it goes to all points. And Civil 3D searches down the point group display order to determine how the points will appear. For example, if a point belongs to all three groups, Civil 3D will first look in the storm manholes point to determine if a point label style has been assigned to that point group. If not, Civil 3D will look in the detention pond point group and then in the all points point group until a point label style setting is found. In the tool space under the prospector tab, right-click on the point groups collection and click properties. So we have our little listing that shows the order of things. We're going to click on the storm manholes group, and then we're going to shoot that all the way down. Then click apply, then click OK. Now you see how it takes on the style of the all points group, because those points are within the all points group, and that style takes precedence over the storm manholes group. So that's how that works. So in all points, we're going to right click, select properties, and then we're going to click on overrides. We're going to select the point label style, and click Apply. This option ensures that the point label style setting of the point group overrides the point label setting of the individual points included in the point group. So click OK. So in the tool space under point groups, right click, select Properties. And we're going to move all points all the way up to the top. And click Apply, and OK. So now all points takes precedence. And remember, all points does not have a label style. Click OK. So that is how that works. So that's really quick and dirty. Let's move on to, this is extra, folks, removing an externally referenced drawing. I know that most people that have worked with AutoCAD more or less know what a externally referenced drawing is all about, but there could be some beginners out there. This will go by fairly quickly. Okay, in this exercise, you'll remove the externally referenced drawing that you added previously, which is this right here. This is the XREF that we're looking to remove. Okay, this exercise uses the points-2 drawing and the existing base map drawing, which I just selected right here. You can see it right here. With the modifications you made from the previous exercise. Okay, go ahead and click this XREF, right click, and then select XREF Manager. We get our XREF dialog box, and you can see our XREF for the existing base map is listed right here. What we're going to do is we're going to right click and select Detach. Then we'll close out of this and that XREF disappears from view. So that's how removing an externally referenced drawing works. It's pretty easy, right, folks? Okay, how are we doing on time? I think we should be doing pretty good. Yeah, we're doing good. Okay, let's move on to editing points. Okay, we can go ahead and close out of this drawing. I'm going to open up another drawing. Right here is the points-3 drawing. Okay, editing points. In this exercise, you'll move and rotate point objects to improve their position in the drawing. We're going to change the point style. This exercise uses the points-3 drawing, which is located in your tutorials folder. This is for the subscribers out there. This is very similar to the drawing you used in the other exercises in the displaying and editing points tutorial. We're going to open up points-3. Then we're going to locate point 992 near the left side of the drawing. Now, how do I find 0.992? I mean, I can manually search for it like this. I can look around at all the points. I'm looking for, see, here's the point number right here, 307, but I'm looking for 0.992. What's a quick way to be able to find a point? Glad you asked. If we click on points, we have this listing right here. And if I scroll down, I can go all the way down to 992. 992, where are you? There we go. Can select this row, right click, and select zoom to. I can zoom out a little bit. Here we go, 992. Now this is really helpful. I mean, I can remember working with a surveyor that was looking, like he mostly worked out in the field, but he was trying to learn Civil 3D, and he was having a heck of a time trying to find a particular point within a drawing. And we're talking about thousands upon thousands of points. And he told me he couldn't find the point. So I told him, instead of manually looking around the drawing for the point, just do it the way that I just showed you. Go to points, go to the list, right click, and select zoom to. And in fact, if you want to, you can also select it the same way by clicking select. So I'm going to deselect that. Okay, once you've located 0.992, notice that it's obscured with all this hatching that's in the way. I'd kind of like to get it out of that hatching if I can. In the next few steps, you'll change the point marker style. You'll rotate the point marker so that it's parallel with a nearby road, and then move the label to a more readable location. Go ahead and select that point. Let's do it this way. Right click, hit select. Then we get our grips right here. Actually, before we get into the grips, we'll right click and select as point group properties, right? Actually, we already have properties right here, but I usually have my properties palette off to the side at all times, but if you don't, click properties. You'll get your properties palette right here. Under the information, we are going to select catch basin as a style property. So we'll select the style. We'll scroll down and go to catch basin. Instead of a manhole, we want a square catch basin. Now we're going to rotate the point. In the drawing window, hover your cursor over the grip right here. You get a menu list of options, or you should get a list of options. These are options that are related to the point marker as well as the point object, which consists of both the point marker and the point label. What we're going to do is we're going to rotate the label and marker. Now you see how, actually before I get into doing this, now you know that usually catch basins, they're parallel with the curb of the road. See right now it's at a slight angle. This is our road right here. You can see it. You can see how it kind of curves like this, goes around on a curve. But our catch basin, that isn't how it looks out in the field. So in order to make it look the proper way, we have to rotate this block. So we're going to rotate the label and the marker at the same time. And we're going to rotate it and make it parallel all for the most part. I'm going to go parallel like this, PER, or perpendicular to my, oh, it looks like edge of metal or my curb. There you go. That's how it would look out in the field. Actually, this would actually get adjusted a little bit further in. Yeah, as you can see with these catch basins right here, but just for the sake of argument, I know engineers are out there screaming right now, that's not how it looks, but this is just a beginner's tutorial. This is just to show how things work as opposed to actual engineering. We're not getting into engineering during this tutorial. We're just going based upon appearance. We're trying to make it look somewhat close to the way it should be. Okay, we've rotated the label and the marker. If we wanted to, we could move this point. However, most of the time when it comes to importing points from a field text file or an ASCII file that we get from a field crew, most of the time whenever we import points, they're usually brought into a database. And in the database, it's typically locked. I know I'm explaining a lot right here, but moving points around sometimes can be a big no-no when it comes to cleanup. But since all of these points are unlocked within this particular drawing, we can actually move this point so that it is a little closer to the way that it should be. Such as, I'm going to go perpendicular to this. I believe that's the edge of metal right there. So it does match these catch basin points right here. You see how it's more in the road. It's more in the curve area. So the engineers out there, this is how it's supposed to look out in the field. But when it comes to importing points, most of the time we don't have a whole lot of option. We do have the option of moving points around after they've been shot out in the field, but you have to unlock them within the database before you can start making those types of adjustments. And a lot of times I tend to not make a ton of adjustments. It depends on the engineering firm whether or not they want things to look a particular way. But that's essentially how you do it. I don't want to overcomplicate things or overthink things, but that's it. Now we're going to drag the point label. Hover your cursor. Here we go. Let's select this again. Hover your cursor over this grip at the top, and you get a menu list of options. Select toggle sub-item groups. And we get all these other grips pertaining to all of these other aspects to our label. These grips can be used to drag each line of the point label independently. So if we wanted to, we can move this over here. We can move this like so. We can move this over here. Actually, if we wanted to move this, we could also do toggle sub item groups. Oops, excuse me. Or we could do this. I'm going to right click and I'm going to reset the label. I'll move the label maybe over here so that I can view it a little bit easier. But that's how you do just a little bit of cleanup on topo. I remember doing that a lot. It's a very time-consuming job, but in order to get these points to look right, in order for the drawing to look clean, there's a lot of cleanup involved with that. So that's it, folks. Look at my time right here. Hey, what's up there, Inspirational Nomad? What's up, brother? Yeah, man, I just got through these tutorials and just wanted to knock these out, man. I appreciate you you showing up, man. I'm sorry I didn't look at the chat. I was just trying to get some of these, knock some of these tutorials out, man. But yeah, that's what we got going on there. And then again, if you get sick of all of my uhs and all of my pauses and all of my mistakes during live stream, sign up for a free 3-day trial at watch.civil3d.tv. You can get access to all of this edited content where it won't waste as much of your time, as much of your precious time. And that's it. Take care, guys. Peace.